What up guys, your boy Jose, and I'm going to do a review on diabetes mellitus. There's some people that said there's 3 types of diabetes. No. There's 2 types of diabetes mellitus. So one is called diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus is not related to diabetes mellitus. Diabetes insipidus is more related to the decreased secretion of ADH. Diabetes mellitus is related to insulin. And that's related to your glucose level. So let's talk about diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus, there's 2 types. There's 1 and 2. One is you're 100% dependent on insulin. 2 is you're not dependent on insulin. The big difference, the best way to remember is diabetes 1 is because your ish is destroyed and your ish isn't secreting insulin. Diabetes 2 is your ish is somewhat destroyed, or there's something going on. Like say you binge eat and the receptors on the insulin is blocked out, so you can't receive the insulin. The insulin is not coming out or whatever, something like that. But you're secreting insulin, but it's not enough, or it's just being resistant to it towards, I don't know, eating too much, bro. Don't eat too much. Since I'm talking about that one, when it comes down to complication is, oh, by the way, I got my stuff on my notes. Complication for it is, the basic kidney failure, heart attack, strokes, blindness, and blindness and infections. Now the thing, 2 key players in here, there's the beta cells and the alpha cells. The beta cells are basically the ones that produce insulin. Alpha cells are the one that produce glucagon, and those are part of they're in your pancreas. Now, when it comes down to the beta cells, what insulin does is insulin helps glucose from your bloodstream go into your cell. That's what it is. What glucagon do is glucagon triggered, which goes to your liver, and from your liver triggers the conversions of glucogen into glucose, which is used for your body. So what triggers insulin is high sugar or whatever. What triggers glucogen or gone. What triggers glucagon is low sugar. Type 1, we're talking about type 1. Type 1 is a person who is dependent on insulin. Their beta cells are destroyed. Type 2 is you're not dependent. So basically you have insulin, it's resistant, or you're not secreting enough. Now it could be related to not enough insulin or obesity because the receptors and stuff like that. Now over here on my notes I wrote metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome, it needs 3 signs and symptoms to be diagnosed, which is abdominal central obesity, fasting blood over 150 mg/ml, blood HDL cholesterol, which is high density level below 40 mg/dl for men, or 50 mg/dl for women. Our blood pressure over 130 over 35 mmHg. A fast glucose over 100 mg, decrease saturated fat, and what you do is the treatment for that is decrease in saturated fat and cholesterol, decrease in weight, and increase physical activity. So those are the treatment that's basically what you should be doing, or what you should be patient teaching. So then be like, yo my G, you need to lose mad weight my G. Other than that, you need to work out facto, and then other than that, you need to calm down or chillax on the fatty food, bruh. Facts. Oh, by the way, I realized, like, when usually I have the camera up there, and when it's up there it's like too far away, so at least here it's like, yo, I see you. Signs and symptoms for that one. For when it comes down to diabetes mellitus, when it comes down, this is a general sign and symptoms because it's legit. I based this on the outline on this. Legit, like every little section that they talked about, I pirate read it, summarized it, figured out what's really important, because these textbooks most of the time is filled with fluff. If you know what fluff is where they get the for your money, because they can't give you a textbook that's this small and be like, yo, you're paying 100. They're gonna give you a textbook this big and be like, you're gonna pay 100 because look how big it is. The hustle is real, bro. The hustle is real. Same content, it's just extra edge. That's what it is. Alright, so the generalized of diabetes mellitus, we're not talking about diabetes like hypoglycemia or hyperglycemia. It's just the generalized part. Later on in the video I'll actually go more in depth with the hypo and hyper. But over here is sign and symptoms is polydipsia. Polydipsia is being zom thirsty. Polyphagia is being zom hungry. Polyuria, you're peeing zom lot. Polyuria, you're peeing sweet. Basically, you're peeing there's sugar-ish on your ish. Of course, like if you know that's that, you know, have mad sugar. Anyways, later on to the video. Natriuria, you're peeing at nighttime. Fatigue is I'm tired. Blurred vision, you can't see ish because ish is going on wrong. Abdominal pain, because ish is messed up. Headaches, because ish is messed up. Ketone, you have mad sugars, my G. Next, keep it going, bro. Diagnose test. Now, this is when it comes to diabetes mellitus, you really need to know the values of it. At least the generalized ish. The diagnose test, diagnostic test. Fasting plasma glucose level is 100 mg/dl, and the way it is, it's drawn 8 hours, nothing in my mouth. The diagnose when it's coming out of nowhere. Oh, a good one, my bad. A good one is 100, below 100. But the diagnose when you're dealing with diabetes mellitus or pre-diabetes is diabetes mellitus is 126 mg. Diabetes mellitus, if it's over 126, no bueno. If it's within 100 to 126, you have pre-diabetes. Then afterward, random plasma glucose, which is like randomized. Like, yo, pee in this cup, bro. But hey, how are you? How's everything? I'll pee in this cup. Random plasma glucose is if you have over 100, over 200, no bueno. More likely you have diabetes mellitus. Next is glucose tolerance test. This is one of the most popular tests, actually. Glucose tolerance test, the person drinks like a bolus level of really sweet drink. Like, it's like orange juice on crack. It's dumb sweet. It's like sweet. The way it is, you drink it, then after when you drink it, then later on they're gonna test your ish. After like 2 hours or so, they're gonna test it, be like, yo, drink this, chill out. Then afterward, let me see that ish. Time when you could know that the person probably had diabetes is 200 mg within 2 hours. Another one is, but the way that you could tell if a person is pre-diabetic is 140 to 100. From 100 to 140 mg, no good. Within 2 hours, no good. You have pre-diabetic. Then let's keep it going. Oh, this is my favorite actually. The A1C test. A1C is congratulations, you play your test, yourself test. That's what I call it. I call it the A1C test. Congratulations, you played yourself. What the A1C is, it figures out if you have been a good boy or a bad boy. It's legit Santa who knows who's naughty or nice. What it does is, it draws the blood, and in your blood, it figures out how many like sugar is attached into your red blood cells. Because the way it is sugar attaches to your red blood cells, and it stays there for like it leaves a mark on it for like 3 months. That's why the test is 120 days. 120 days is how long a red blood cell live. Now the thing is with that, you have to put in consideration if the patient is anemic. If the person is anemic, of course not gonna do that because they're gonna read it, they have low count of red blood cells, so it's not going to be inaccurate. It's not gonna be accurate. But the A1C test is gonna be like, let me draw that. You lying, bro. You lying. You've been telling me that you're on the diet, that you're controlling your ish, but your A1C determines that was a lie. In the word of Murray, the A1C test determines that was a lie. In the words of DJ Khaled, congratulations, you played yourself. That's one thing that you can't play with. You can't cheat that. It's in your blood, bro. That's like ultra accurate if you're like you're fretting or not. But the A1C test is the glucohemoglobin test. It's the A1C, aka some people call it H1C. Some people call it HA1C, but more commonly it's called A1C test, and it monitors diabetes control. Timeline for that is within 3 months, so it legit tracks back 3 months prior. So when the doctor tells you, be like, yo, come back in 3 months, bro. Just come back in 3 months. Like that, you're about to play yourself because they're gonna give you a patient teaching. They're gonna tell you to come back in 3 months, and you're gonna be like, let me just cheat a little bit though. Then afterward, they're gonna look at that and be like, yo, congratulations, you played yourself. You have not been listening. You, my friend, has been a non-compliant patient. But aside from that, glucose attached to red blood cells, a good reading is 4 to 6%. A bad reading over 6%. That means that congratulations, you played yourself. And this whole thing, you're gonna be like, congratulations, you played yourself. A1C. Facts. Then a prevention for that is later on to prevent like your sugar in it, recommends 70% of body weight, work out at least 150 per week. Plasma glucose test, of course you want to check your age. More you monitor your age, the more you're like you're knowledgeable of your situation, the more you're gonna be good. Aside from that, pre-diabetes, sometimes they're gonna get metformin. And of course, number one key is lifetime change. That means stop going to the buffet and stop drinking so much, bro. Drinking is actually a form of sugar if you guys don't know. I'm just saying. Continuing on, therapeutic measures, lifestyle change. When in doubt, lifestyle change. When it comes down to blood, like, you'll notice this in your heart. When it comes down to your heart, the number one answer is lifestyle change. When it comes to diabetes, number one thing is lifestyle change. So you can control it. Well, except for when you have diabetes type 1, you can't really control that. 2, you can control it. I mean, you can control your sugar level, but you know what I mean? Next is, lifestyle change, workout, weight loss, healthy diet, insulin. If, like, you need to take insulin. Or oral glycemic-ish, which is not insulin. There is no such thing as oral insulin. FYI, I'm just clarifying it. Insulin is always going to be injected because insulin is a form of protein. So if you take insulin, you try to toggle it down, bruh, nothing's going to happen. What's going to happen? It's going to go in, it's going to go to your digestive system, and I'll break it down. So just know that insulin and oral glycemic is different. What oral glycemic does is it triggers on your beta cells and tells them, be like, bruh, produce some more ish. And they're going to be like, alright, cool, no problem. And of course, the one that's going to get the oral hypoglycemic ish is going to be what's that called? Type 2, because it's not like they're actually destroyed. Type 1 is more like 20 to 80%, like at least 80% destroyed. They need that ish. I mean, then continuing on, go for treatment. Go for treatment when it comes down to like this. Before the meal, 80 to 30. That's the goal. 80 to 30, that's your goal. After the meal is at least below 180. So 80 to 130 before, 180 after. The goal is for your A1C is the level is going to be below 7%. And your blood pressure, the goal is going to be 140/8. That's the goal. Medical nutrition therapy. Less carbs intake, maintain consistent amount, and be considerate of the ethnic background, because you don't want to be like, nah, bro, you can't have that, because they're not going to be non-compliant. They're going to be like, what? I grew up on that though. Fall back. That's what they're going to be like. That. More likely, they'll even stop going to the doctor and be like, yo, I don't go over there because they're going to tell me what to do, and I'm not about that life. Thug life, bro. Thug life. So you want to be considerate. You want to put that in consideration. Sometimes you could be like, yo, how about you cut it down though? Instead of you take like a zamlat of rice, be like, you cut it half, bro. Cut it half. Instead of putting all that salt-ish, how about you just put herbs up in that? We're talking about cooking herbs. Cooking herbs. Herbs, like, no, seasoning-ish. Not other herbs, but that. How about you put that in there instead of the salt? Because the salt will bring up your blood pressure, and ish is going to get all messed up. And if you're already diagnosed with diabetes mellitus, ish is already messed up, and you don't want to mess it up. Keep it going. Down over here is exercise. The way exercise is, what I wrote in here is, what exercise does is it improves the sensitivity of your insulin. What it does is it helps the insulin work faster. So the thing is, the effect is within 48 hours. Again, always remember that you have to be at least like 150 minutes per week. The best thing you could do is resistant workout, like lifting weights and shit like that. But one thing that you have to know is, yo, check your glucose before you do that, because you won't be collapsing, and have carbs before you take that. Glucose before you take that, which don't make sense, because you're gonna be like, but you're working out to lose glucose though. Be like, yeah, you're working out to lose glucose, but since your body is working out and it's burning out all these, like, you know, your sugar and stuff, your issue gonna drop, bro. Like, you don't wanna be deadlifting the next, your sugar drop and you're dead. You have to be smart about it. Be like, yo, like, before this, let me get a carb snack before I work out, because I don't want my issue drop. I mean, I'm not trying to be running on a treadmill and like fall back in my face. I'm not trying to be in water stuff, bro. I'm not about that life. So I'm going to take this carb, that one, and yeah, and of course you're gonna make sure that, you know, your ketones aren't like OD. No workout if you have ketone. If you have ketone in your ish, no good. I'll go into detail with ketones. You might not know what I'm talking about right now, but keep that going. Now, medication for that is going to be type 1, you need insulin. You need insulin if you're type 1. Type 2, you're going to have a combination. Sometimes you'll have just all insulin, or sometimes you have a combination of two, which is, one is a oral hyperglycemic, where what it does is it triggers your beta cells to boom, produce, bro. Or you're gonna get again, when it comes down to insulin, know that insulin is subcut. It's gonna be administered on your fatty area, like, on here, but mainly here on the abdominal. Now, the thing is with that one, just know that you're going to switching side. You're gonna be switching it up, be like, yo, boom, boom, every 2 days, boom, boom. So basically, you're going here, and then after you're gonna switch it up and go to the other side, go here, then switch it up, because you don't want to be injecting one side over and over. When you keep on injecting on one side over and over, you're gonna damage that ish, and it's not not gonna be cool. And one thing too you need to know is you don't rub that itch. So you inject and leave it. If there's a little bit of blood coming out, you know what you do, you dab it. You don't dab like that. We're talking about like dab, like take a thing, dab, that's it. Leave it. Don't rub it. It's not a vaccine, bro. Because what that's gonna do is you're gonna trigger it, then that's gonna get absorbed, and the next other person's gonna be at risk for hypoglycemia, which is like low blood sugar because you rubbed it and it's overreacting fast, and that's no good. In a really bad emergency situation, maybe a person will get IM insulin, which is a direct, more fast, be like, yo, this kid's issues is on fast and bring it down now. IM insulin or IV insulin, more direct, like straight to the bloodstream, like boom. Then continuing on. And some people, what they do is they'll actually have increased amount of injection prescribed, of course, cleared with the doctor, increased amount of short acting to just have more better control. But when you do that, you're on tighter control, yes, but you're also at risk for hypoglycemia, which is no good. You have more control, but you're also putting yourself at risk. There's combinations of that too. Well, I'll go into that. Now is site rotation. I already talked about it a little bit already. Site rotation is, again, it's going to be in subcut area, only here or like in the inner thigh, like on the fat area, bro. Fat area, just the fat area. Boom. You're gonna change rotation. You're gonna change rotation. You don't want to damage that edge. Oh, my bad. Not 1, 2 days. Every week, my bad. So every week on one area, we're gonna do this whole area every week. And after 1 week, boom. I'm talking about 1 to 2 when I'm coming out the catheter. Rotation every week, bro. Every week. Boom, 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 boom. Every week. And the thing is, the injection site's gonna be 1 inch apart from each other. No, you're not gonna aspirate and you're not gonna rub. And recommended is on the abdominal or the torso. Keep it moving. Pumps. What the pump does? Holy crap! 21 minutes. This is going to be a long ass video. I'm only on like slide 7. Holy crap. Anyways, the pumps. What the pump does is the pump goes. The small catheter comes in and it legit like pumps. It pumps insulin in there. So instead of sticking yourself consistently, be like, no, it pumps over there and it will consistently blow out insulin consistently. You'll keep on doing that to help you control. And before you eat something, there's like a little button when you press on it, which allows you to get a bolus amount, which helps you, like, you know, it'll lower it after you finish eating. So you take that, you press the button before you eat because you're supposed to take insulin before you. And the dope thing about it is it has a glucose reading. So it has a continuous glucose reading. Sometimes, not all of them, it depends on the manufacturing. But most of the time they have a glucose reading. We're like, yo, let me check my sugar. Oh shit, I'm high. Bring it down. Glucose sources. This is fluff. I'm just, you know, glucose sources is synthetic, replicated by like to mimic insulin. It's made of protein, and you know, sometimes from other places. It's driven from other places. So you have to check where it's from because some sources is different. Timing, onset, peak, and duration. Onset when it starts to bring it down. Peak is when it's lowest. Durations when it's working till it dies off. Then regiment is you have to be cautious with hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia is something that you just need to be like, oh snap. Some people that have a system which is the basal bolus. Basal bolus is legit like bolus. A basal it'll last long, then afterwards short acting ish in between, or a combination. It all depends. But some people who like the more control, people who like the more control is more like the sliding scale insulin. The sliding scale insulin is, it all depends on your glucose. So if your glucose says this, be like, yo, there's an order, and be like 2 units, 3 units, 6 units, alright, back, boom. That, I mean, that's what it is. That's what a sliding unit is, all based on the glucose reading. Now, that is unstable when it comes down to sick people because your glucose gets all effed up when you're sick. So you really need to be very cautious with hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia. You need to pay attention to that. Be like, yo, I mean, it's a little bit, it's not that much though. The problem with that is you consistently have to stick yourself. So the people like to control. People like that. It's still like, yo, I like my control, bro. Keep it going. Now this part was like, it wasn't really emphasized in my lecture, but I just written just to play it safe. Somogi effect. Somogi effect is, what it does is it increases your insulin, your glucose, regardless of the fact of how much insulin put in. It just happens. Then after there's the down phenomenon. Down phenomenon is legit when your glucose increase or decreases certain time of the day, or related to the hormone released and stuff. Like your glucose is going to be some high in the morning time, so you're gonna monitor that. So some people will actually need glucose, will need insulin in the morning time. All glycemic medication, that's what I was talking about earlier. Not insulin, there's no such thing as insulin pill. Stimulus the pancreas to produce insulin, administer before next meal, and continue on. When it comes down to natural remedies, you need to be like, yo, you need to talk to your doctor, bro. Talk to your doctor. Before you start doing this that you've seen on YouTube, you need to talk to your doctor. That's facts. Continuing on is monitoring ish. This is basically a time when you check your glucose, and you know the meter with the ding dong dong, washing hands and boom. But that one is before meals, before bedtime, before snacks, before driving, before working out is key. That's one thing. Your goals is to maintain your sugar at least from 180 to 130, yo. And you're also gonna tell them, be like, yo, have like a diary, bro. You need a diary, like facto, so at least I can see it, because it's pointless. You'd be like, yo, you're in control, but I don't even know what you're eating. Keep it going. Glucose, urine glucose, and ketones. Whoa, I'm pretty good. I'm on slide 7. I'm on slide 10 now. Glucose. Basically, you have sugar in your pee, and that means you'll have hyperglycemia because you have an overload and issues like going haywire. Be like, oh crap. Another one too is ketone. Ketone, I'll get into more detail with it later on in a couple of more pages, which is ketone. It's more related to high sugar. You see that is when you have high sugar. You see urine glucose when you have high sugar, and most likely it's gonna be when you're sick or when you're stressed out. When you're ill, you're at risk for ketone. It's no good. What is the best thing you could do is weight loss, bro. Weight loss is the best thing you could do. Weight loss helps your blood pressure, weight. It helps with your lipid levels. It helps, especially with diabetes type 2. Type 2, it helps a lot. Weight loss, you'll be like, yo, what can I do? I have diabetes type 2. But what you can do is chill out, relax, work out, and boom, be more active, bro. Boom, facto. Hyperglycemia. Now we're going to the difference between hyper and hypo. Hyperglycemia is when you have high amount of sugar in your bloodstream. The reason why it's in your bloodstream is because of the fact that it's not going to the cell. You don't have that insulin. The insulin is legit, like it helps it, like, you know. Boom. You could imagine insulin as a key in the cell. There's like, imagine a cell. A cell is like, it has like a lock, and the insulin is a key. The key goes into the lock and opens it, and when it opens it, sugar goes in and the cell is happy. But insulin not there, it's just going to be locked. So basically, since it's outside, it's going to be overcrowded, and boom, boom, voila, you have freaking hyperglycemia, bro, which is not good. That is when you have mad sugar. That's a lot of things could go wrong. Hyperglycemia, it could be released on stressful situation. It could be released on, like, you know, it could be released on hormonal changes. One thing, like in my last video, I was talking about that GH is the people who is acromegaly. Acromegaly people are at risk for hyperglycemia because the insulin sensitivity is decreased, intolerant. It becomes insulin intolerant, glucose intolerant. It just don't work. Where it's like they're at risk for hyperglycemia, released based on not enough insulin. They don't have insulin in their system. For example, type 1 people, or type 2. But type 1 people don't have they're not producing insulin, or it's like incredibly low amount where it's like it's ridiculous, but they need the insulin. Sign a symptom for it. Now when it comes down to hyperglycemia, there's like three main things, like 3 things that works like, yo bro, 3: polyuria, polydipsia, polyphagia. Polyuria, you're peeing a lot. Polydipsia is because I'm thirsty because you're peeing a lot. Polydipsia because your body's just hungry for energy. It's like, yo, the cells, bro, the cells is starving. Keep it moving. Boom. And other stuff is lethargy. They're gonna be like sluggish because the cells are deprived. So to be like, then afterward, abdominal pain, coma, and ketonuria. You have ketone on your PP. No good. Not on your PP, on your pee. Like pee, what you pee out. That's ketone. Treatment for it is, of course, you're going to confirm it with urine tests. You're going to confirm it with a meter. You're going to increase fluid if the patient is dehydrated. You know, you're going to give them insulin, of course. Bring it down. You're going to, if the ish don't work, like let's say if it's still acting up, next 180 for 2 days, you need to talk to your doctor. Be like, yo, bro, like, I'm sorry, man. Like, you're working, bro. You need to pull up, bro, pull up. facts. That one, making her sick, no good. And like, you'll be surprised, like diabetes mellitus affects a lot. But when you're sick, when you have diabetes, bro, you need to watch out. Fact. Then hypoglycemia. Talking all this. 30 minutes. Holy crap. I still need 5 more slides. We're done fast. Hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia is when you have low sugar in your system, no bueno, and no bueno. It's you don't have no glucose, but you have mad insulin. You don't have no glucose, but you have mad insulin. That's what it is basically. So glucose, like your blood glucose is going to be below 70. It's not good. No good. It usually happens when you skip meals. Like, can you imagine you're taking your insulin, you just got your insulin, then after you decide to skip, thinking that you can do something smart, but really do something really stupid. Do a lot of things. Don't skip meal, bro. Don't skip meal. But like, you know what? I get a lot. I'm about to take a shot. I'm just gonna skip it. It'll bring down my sugar. No, ho. It'll drop your sugar. It will drop it. So what it does is you have glucose, but you have a little bit of glucose, but you have more insulin. So she's messed up. And signs symptoms is gonna be hungry. Please, I'm hungry. And because you're hungry, you're gonna be like pissed. You're gonna be like irritable. But like, what? What do you want, yo? Shut up. Don't talk to me. Don't talk. Yo, don't. That's one thing. They're gonna be some confused because they're gonna be like, yo, what is going on here? Well, confused, aggravated, and stuff like that. They're gonna be sweating, but you know, it's like imagine you working out with no food. That's what it is. It's like your cell. That's what you're doing. That it's like you're feeding your cell that it don't have. It's just hungry. So you're going to be hungry. So that's the best way to remember it. Sign and symptom for hypoglycemia is like be hungry. Sign and symptom when a person is hyperglycemia is like you're gonna be like, ugh. Like, I don't feel well. I ate too much or issues building up. Anyways, treatment confirmed with meter, Geronta. You're gonna administer fast acting. Fast acting is like, you know, fast sugar. Be like, yo, take that. Keep it going. Orange juice is key. Orange juice is key. Then after you're gonna call doctor if it don't act up. You're gonna administer glucagon. Glucagon is glucagon. You know, glucagon. It helps. It helps bring up your sugar levels. That's what it does. If it's really bad, you're gonna get an IV of dextrose 50%. Dextrose. FOI, the difference between dextrose and glucose is none. They're the same thing. It's just a different name. That's what it is. And now the complication, I'm going to go over it, but this video was 35 minutes, bro. Like 35 minutes. When I edit this and I upload it, it's going to be crazy. So I'm gonna cut it. I'm going to leave a mark on my little tablet-ish, talking about where I left off at, and I am going to record that after I chill out and like study on my own, or drink some freaking water and coffee, because my mouth is dry. Alright, I'm about to go out on a study break real quick. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and the next video for the complication of diabetes will be coming up pretty soon, probably by today or tomorrow. So at least I have something to upload for tomorrow. I'll record it today, upload it tomorrow. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and peace.